Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grow Up, Level Up, an interview podcast where we talk to folks about the fun and games that helped us grow up. I'm Samson, and in this podcast, I do interviews with people and explore the childhood games, whether it's video games, tabletop games, playground games, and more, that helped them grow up and had an impact in their life. I also talk to them about the types of games and fun experiences that they choose to participate in today. The goal of this podcast is to highlight the importance that fun has in our lives and relationships, whether it's growing up, present day, or in the future. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for this episode of Grow Up, Level Up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Grow Up, Level Up, the show where we talk about the fun and games that helped us grow up. And for this episode, the hobbies that we choose to do in our grown-up lives. But enough of that. I feel like I put an intro at the beginning of every episode. And if you've been following along this whole time, thank you. And I think you know what this show is about. So we're going to skip past the housekeeping as well. The only thing you need to know is to join our Discord server with the link below to be part of the discussion on different episodes, as well as announcements for what's coming up next. So today in our episode, we're bringing in, this is kind of funny because I used ChatGPT to write you a little bit of a poem. Or a poem? It's a hype saying, okay? She's pedaling across provinces where adventure embraces, bending signs to her wisdom's graces, capturing life in digital spaces. Triple threat with strength, smarts, and artistic cases. All these feats that she chases culminate into the powerhouse, Saffrin.
Oh my God, ChatGPT is giving me all the love today.
It's true. It was pretty incredible when it came out. So Saffrin is our guest today. She is a decision support advisor for Vancouver Coastal Health. She's also an incredibly athletic athlete, mostly in biking. But you can also technically classify her as a lifestyle and travel vlogger, as she uploads pretty often to her YouTube channel, Saffrin Granby, right? Is that your name? Awesome. So please welcome Saffrin.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. My first ever podcast. Also, I am in the process of getting my voice back. I was at Crankworks all weekend.
Oh, cool.
Whistler. I was doing a little too much shouting. So
Crankworks is the like a mountain bike competition?
Yeah, exactly. I did not participate. I was just a spectator.
That's still fun though, it sounds like. That's awesome. So as we see already a world traveler, just casually going up for a weekend. That's awesome. But before we get into talking about like how you balance traveling with your work, with vlogging, with your athletic side, I want to ask you, what are you drinking today? What are you drinking today on the podcast?
I am drinking a kombucha. It is the GT like summer edition flavor. It has like cherry, coconut, and lemongrass, and it was cheaper than the traditional flavor. So that was enticing.
That's pretty important for this time that we are in. That's awesome. Kombucha is pretty nice. Actually, I think you're the first kombucha drinker on the show. So a pin for you there. Today I have grapefruit bubbly. And I picked it because in French, it's pamplemousse.
I like grapefruit a lot.
True. It's pretty good. But I don't know if I ever eaten a real
They're
grapefruit.
actually, okay, this might be...
Please, tangent away. Tangent away.
I kind of think grapefruit's like the actual fruit is a little bit gross because it's a bit too bitter for me. But then in drinks and in as a flavor, I really like it.
Cool. Nice. Maybe I'll have to try real grapefruit and learn to appreciate the fake kind. Cool. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. And for our other, what do I call this? Other housekeeping question? I forgot. Icebreaker question. Sorry, it's been a long day. Usually I ask guests what their 3 favorite games are. But for you, I'll ask you what your top 3 favorite travel locations are of all time.
I'd say one of them was going to Bali with my mom. I went there this past year. It was really beautiful, like the nature and the food there. Everything was just really calming as well. I felt like I was finally like not anxious. And then another place I really love is actually more local. I love Penticton. I feel like it's the best
Mm.
little summer getaway. All the wineries there, especially if you go at the beginning of summer, you don't really get as much smoke.
Oh, right. Yes.
So it's really, really beautiful. And I just have like a lot of good memories with friends and family
Mhm.
down there. And I think my third favorite place would be Italy and Spain mixed
Wow.
together, though, because I went on a trip with some of my friends from high school when I was 19, and we just were there for 3 weeks, and it was such a fun time.
Wow. 3 weeks is a long
It
time.
was a really long time.
That's awesome. I love the mix of different places.
Yeah.
We have like, is Bali tropical technically?
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
very tropical.
So we have a tropical place. We have a kind of local Penticton with the is that that's the one with the lazy river, right?
Yes.
That everyone goes in. Cool. Yeah, I like that too. And then we have Italy and Spain, very cultural and historical kind
Yeah.
of. Cool. Wow, world traveler. Have you ever? I've seen like these pieces people have in their homes. It's like a world map, but
Mm.
it's cork, and every time they travel somewhere, they put a pin in where they went. So
I
it's
never
like,
did that, but my sister used to do something like that. She also used to get postcards and bus tickets from every city.
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing magnets like
Mhm.
that. That's great. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Um, so the reason why I brought you here today is to talk a little bit about your like creative side, I
Mhm.
guess. So if you don't know, like Saffrin posts a vlog weekly on her channel at Saffrin Granby on YouTube, as well as like other content too, like a series called Nobody Asked. Is there any other series
No,
like
those
that?
are just the
Oh,
2
okay.
main ones.
But she does it like every week, and I'm so like impressed because it's more than one video. She's the producer, editor, the star of the show. So I want to ask her like how she does that between like her full-time job and like her also biking side, running side. Um, but maybe before we go into that part, I want to know a little bit about know a little more about you. Why don't we start with like what your day job is like?
Yeah, for sure. So right now I'm working at Vancouver Coastal Health as a decision support advisor, and like that kind of doesn't really encompass the work that I do because decision support is just like a part of Vancouver Coastal that handles a lot of the technical stuff that goes on at the hospital. So my specific role is in the quality and patient safety team, and specifically, I'm doing a lot of computational linguistic work and data science work, and then I'm also kind of pulling in from my engineering and data background
Oh
to
wow.
do some other tasks within the team as well. So it's a very technical role, which
Oh,
I
okay.
love.
Yeah. Oh, okay. When you said decision advisor, I thought it was something to do with like customer service, but no.
No, no. Decision support at
Or does
Vancouver
it?
Coastal Health kind of encompasses anything that has to do with a lot of like anything technical, like any coding, data, and stuff like that.
Hmm. Oh, that's very interesting. So your background and your education is in like programming
Hmm.
and data.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got my undergrad at UBC from in computer science, and then I got a master's of data science and computational linguistics.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's incredible. So lots of like sitting in front of a screen, I guess, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of
I'm
it.
sure we'll dive into that. That's awesome. So do you enjoy the role? Like how'd you end up in that role?
Um, I did a co-op at BC Cancer, so I had already worked in the healthcare space. I was doing web development for them, and from that role at BC Cancer, I kind of realized, okay, I like healthcare, but I don't necessarily like web development. So that kind of
Hmm.
taught me what type of quote unquote computer science I wanted to do. So then that led me into making a decision to pursue a master's of data science and computational linguistics. But I do really like healthcare. Like I worked at a lab where we were studying linguistic features of Alzheimer's disease. So that I
Wow.
think like throughout my entire undergrad, I was always like uh, in the healthcare space, just more from a technical side. So then
Hmm.
actually, one of the directors from decision support, he came to my school during like my graduate year, and he
Nice.
gave like a speech. I didn't even attend the speech.
Oh.
I was away, but he sent a message to everyone in my cohort saying like, please apply. And I, on a whim, I decided to apply. And funny enough, like when I was interviewing, I was processing getting rejected from another role in Toronto at a hospital. So I was like, ugh, nothing ever works out. I don't even care what happens. So it was almost like I went into the interview for Vancouver Coastal just so nonchalant. And I was like, whatever happens, happens. Like if it's not meant to be, then I won't get it. But then, and I ended up getting the role. And I was super, as soon as I got it, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Like a 180, you weren't expecting it.
Exactly.
I don't want to say you like didn't even try, but maybe you gave off like a cool, like, oh, this person's chill and relaxed under pressure.
Yeah.
So maybe that got it for you. But that's awesome. I'm glad you found a like role that you really enjoy, and even when you didn't expect it. So for your content creation side, does that like play a role in this job at all, or is that a nice separation?
Not at all. Like it's completely separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a bit funny. I started the vlog, I guess 3.5 years ago now on a whim. I kind of missed making videos and content creating a little bit. When I was in grade 8, I thought I wanted to be a film director.
Oh yeah, like YouTuber.
No, not even a YouTuber.
like
I just wanted to be a film director.
Oh.
And then in grade 9, they offered like video production. So from grade 9 through grade 12, I took it every year, and it was my favorite class. I loved doing it. But then as I got older, I realized I don't know, I didn't feel like I always had like a creative drive. And sometimes when you have a deadline and when you have something that you have to do, you feel like the creative life just gets sucked out of you. So I found it really stressful.
Right.
The idea of actually pursuing directing or any sort of like creative endeavor as a full-time job. And I really did enjoy sciences and math and stuff like that. So ultimately I was like, okay, I'm not going to be a director. And then I went into university, went into sciences, and I just never did anything creative for the first like 4 years that I was in university. I just did not feel like I had the time, and I like didn't think about it that much. I mean, I was kind of sad that I didn't have a creative outlet, but at the same time, I didn't feel like it was hindering my life that much. And then in 2020, I got an internship at the European Space Agency, and I was supposed to go to Germany.
Whoa.
Which was like, that was my dream. Like I wanted to go to Germany because I was learning German at the time. I really just wanted to be immersed in the language. So then I decided like, okay, I want to start a vlog so that I can document this process, because I've never lived anywhere except for Vancouver. So I really just wanted to document it. And then of course the pandemic hit.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't get to go to Germany.
Oh no. Oh man.
But then since we were in lockdown and we had nothing to do, I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just keep making this vlog for now and see how that turns out.
Oh, so the vlog actually came around the time the pandemic started, which was 2020. Yeah.
I had released 6 vlogs before the pandemic started.
Oh, no.
And then from there, it was just me documenting making sourdough and going, and I started running. I picked up running during that time. So I did like a little challenge running 10 kilometers every day for a week. That was one of my first videos.
Holy, that's incredible.
Yeah, I was probably injured while doing it, but it was like, it kind of kept me a little bit sane to be able to have this little creative endeavor. Because of course, like even though school was like technically still going on, it was all online, and like it was kind of a joke at the time.
Yeah. The first few bits of like online school, online work, everyone was just kind of messing around.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So it was so this vlog, you planned to do it as a way to document your adventure in Germany. That didn't happen, but you still kept up with it, and you found a reason to make content for the vlog, or you like kind of found it as like a fun bonus to, it's like, I'm going to run. I might as well document it so I can look back on it.
Yeah, I think it was more just about, I'm going to be living, I'm going to be doing stuff anyway. Like I'm a very like motivated person. I don't like to sit still. Like every day after work or school, I always wanted to do something. So I think I just was like, oh, why not document my memories? And I mean, 3.5 years later, I'm looking back at the videos and I'm so happy that I have them. Like every trip I've taken with my friends in the last 3 years, I have that memory. And whenever I'm sad, I just go back and watch the videos.
That is a really nice feeling that I don't think is, or that I think is like underrated, is like just watching old videos of your vacations, and it's like structured in a way that you can consume it easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like reliving it for a little moment, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really special. Cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing the birth of the vlog. I guess we can skip ahead a little bit here. But what motivates you to like do a vlog week by week?
Um, I mean, I think a part of it is that it's just so ingrained into my routine
Mm.
that it's just so easy to do now. Like I don't really think about it. I just like it's almost like a habit to whip out and like film stuff. And then I also it just gives me like a sounding board almost to talk to when I'm alone. Like I just get to
Oh,
talk to
okay.
the vlog and I get to just process out some of my emotions. Um it's hard to say what my motivation is. Like I
Mm.
just really like to do it. I don't know if I have like a specific reason why,
Hmm.
cuz I'm not trying to like make it as my career. Like I think it's just something that I really like to do and I like to
Yeah.
share with people. So it's just kind of like it just feels like a habit at this point that I like.
Yeah. Well, it does. Yeah. Like I feel like lots of people get hung up on, oh, I'm trying to grow my brand or
Mhm.
I'm trying to get sponsorships. But vlogging for yourself or like for your friends and family
Mhm.
is also super valid.
Yeah, I think I
Especially in
just
this
like
day.
sharing it with my friends. That's another thing. Like I
Yeah.
like it when I do something with somebody like going on a trip or me like we go on a fun hangout and I get to like film my friends. Like it's really fun.
And do your friends also enjoy like being filmed and being part of this like
I think some
everlasting
friends
product?
more than others. Like some friends love the vlog, which is really fun. Like
That's
whenever
awesome.
anybody I actually get so flattered whenever any of my friends are like, I'm filming this for you. I'm like, oh, thank you
Aw.
for thinking of me. Oh my gosh.
Just send it to you later and you use
Yeah.
it. Oh, that's
No,
awesome.
it's the sweetest thing when people do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Um, yeah, no, that's really cool to have like a friend group that is that wants to be part of like your hobbies, right?
Mhm.
And even though it doesn't directly benefit them,
Mhm.
it's something that is very special forever. Um, so I want to go back to your biking side. We didn't actually
Mm.
talk about your athletic side yet. So are you mainly a biker or do you run as well? Or what are all the physical things you do, I guess?
Mostly a cyclist, but I really do like running.
Hmm.
I've been trying to get into running in the last couple years. I'm not a very fast runner, but I like doing it.
Hmm.
I've been cycling since I was a kid. My dad's a huge cyclist. Like
Mm.
he's been getting us to bike since we were little.
Oh, okay.
Like at around 8 years old, my dad was like, "All right, you're riding to school." So he made us bike 5 kilometers every day to
Oh my
school, like
gosh.
from the West End all the way to Lord Tennyson. That has
Yeah.
like that massive hill on Cypress. Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I don't care, you're doing it." And
It's
at the
like there's
time,
no other way to get there.
yeah,
I
and
don't
at
have
the
a car.
time, me and my sister were so mad at him. We were like,
Mm.
"Why are you making us do this?" But now, like, it's so nice to like have biking kind of like I'm so comfortable on the bike. I'm so
Mm.
comfortable like riding on the roads now. Like
Wow.
I just feel like it's the fastest way to get around the city if there's no like Canada Line or SkyTrain involved.
Yeah, no, it's Vancouver is a very bike friendly city.
Yeah.
There's like actually it's a big meme in the in the city. Like everyone hates the bike lanes
Oh
or
yeah.
likes them. But the way the city's set up, there's so many ways for bikes to get around, and you don't ever need to stop. Which I just started biking again, and I noticed like, oh, I could get from the station to like my work, and it's one road, which
Mhm.
is really convenient. So that's awesome. So biking's like a family thing, or it's something you grew up
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. It's a really big family thing, especially with me and my dad. My dad's like a very like stoic, silent type. So I find like
Oh,
that we bond the most together by going on rides together.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you and your dad like bike weekly, or is it
Yeah,
more?
we have a specific day of the week during the spring, summer, and early fall. We bike on Mondays. So we
Nice.
go for a ride and then we come home. We have a little tradition where we'll make pizza afterwards
Oh,
too.
that is so nice. That's such a nice treat.
Yeah, yeah, it's a nice tradition.
So when you're biking, like what challenges have you faced during your biking journey, your running journey as well, would you say?
Hmm, I'd say with cycling, it's less injury prone. So most of the challenges that you face are very more it's more mental because some of the rides
Mm,
that you go on are so long. Like recently, I did Vancouver's Triple Crown, which is when
yes.
you go up Seymour, Grouse, and Cypress all in
Yeah.
one ride. And your body just gets wrecked doing something like that. Like you can try consuming as much water and calories as you want while you're riding. At a certain point, your body's like, please stop. Please give up.
Yeah. So in case it wasn't clear to the audience, like that's 3 different mountains. So you're going up and down and up and down all in one day. Yeah.
And so it ended up being like 7.5 hours of riding, which is a very difficult amount of time to be on a bike. Even for me, like, I don't know, like I bike a lot, but like a bike ride like that is so challenging and it sucks, honestly. Like I got off the bike. I was like, I don't think I recommend that to anybody.
As you were doing it, was there a certain point where you're like, I could just stop right now?
For the third mountain. For the first one, like I think you have to be a bit more mentally like positive when you're doing the first mountain because Seymour is a tough mountain. There's rides where I've done it and I've only done Seymour and I'm gassed afterwards. But when I got to the top of Seymour, I'm like, I'm in good spirits. Like I can do this. I got to the top of Grouse and I was like, I'm a little shaky, but we got this. We got this.
Got a little more in the tank.
We got to the base of Cypress and I was like, oh, I can't do it. And
oh no.
We were riding and like we probably have to stop every couple of kilometers just to the side of the road to breathe. And my back was hurting so much. Like when you're on a bike for such a long period of time, like it just absolutely kills your back.
Did you get any like muscle cramps or anything like
that
too? Oh, nice.
I was actually okay with muscle cramps, but I think like when you're in pain like that, it's not like an injury pain. It's just like a dull nagging pain that just naturally happens when you're biking for that long. So it's more about like a mental battle with yourself to just keep riding.
Yeah.
I usually during bike races, I'll have like mantras of like go slow or it's temporary or just keep pedaling. Like just stuff that I repeat over and over in my head to just not let thoughts of like go down the hill.
Yeah.
Give up.
You could just stop here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So you have little mantras that you tell yourself. Oh, that's a really cool tool that I never
I do the same thing with running, but the challenges I've had with running are a lot more physical where I've gotten shin splints or I'll have like pains in my knee. Like it's such a high impact sport that you are prone to get injured if you're not careful. And there's a lot of times that I am prone to overtraining. Like I'm a very intense person. And especially when I was training for my first marathon, I had like a training plan and I was super obsessed with following it to a T.
Yeah.
Whereas when I look back, I think there's moments where I could have cross-trained or taken a rest day, even if the plan hadn't prescribed it, just because it would have been better to listen to my body and not get injured rather than like try to crank out, say, 10 extra kilometers for the week and then be injured.
Yeah. No, I definitely resonate with that. It's like, because I do like lifting on the side and strength training. And then there's always times where it's like, oh, I'm feeling pretty strong today. I feel like I can do an extra 10 pounds on this deadlift. And that's the deadlift that throws out your back for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Big lesson for me this year was taking the ego out of training.
Yeah. That's a big life skill.
Yeah. It's a work in progress.
Well, it's because you look at yourself and it's like, I did the Triple Crown. I can do anything. So you push yourself that one day, but really you should have just rested.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's like a balance between keep pedaling, keep pushing, but also like don't injure yourself. This is temporary. Like you'll do better the next day.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Do you have any motivational words for those who want to get into like long distance biking or biking in general or marathon running even?
I would say start slow because if you try to, like, if you think, oh, I'm not like a good runner or I'm not a good cyclist unless I do X amount of kilometers per week, that's just going to feel like this insurmountable like wall that you have to cross. And if you miss like a single day of training, you're going to be like, well, I just give up because I didn't meet like my entire plan. I'm so prone to that where like, if I feel like I didn't do it perfectly, that I failed at it and then I just don't want to have anything to do with it. So something really valuable that I learned was that I think sometimes the hardest part is to just be okay with being mediocre.
Oh, okay.
About it. Because then when you stop caring, I find that's when I've had the biggest improvement. Like when I was started to like be okay with, for example, running slow, because so many times I was like, but I know I can run faster in this certain context. But then I would get injured and then I wouldn't be able to run for a certain amount of time. So then when I actually just committed to say, okay, you can't run at a fast rate, or like you can't run at the rate that like you want to and that your friends are running. You have to run 30 seconds per kilometer slower.
Okay.
And doing that actually changed my running because I was able to enjoy it. Like I wasn't like gasping for breath the entire time I was running, because that's the worst feeling when you're running and you're like, I actually ran out of oxygen. I'm about to
Oh,
faint. Like you just
no.
feel like garbage while you're running. But
Yeah.
then if you're running and you almost feel like you're running a little too slow, you start to enjoy it more and you get more into a rhythm and you start to just feel like, oh, like this is nice. Like I could do this forever. And then you just get more confidence in yourself. And like I think something about like long distance sports is that you can't hate your way into like being good at them. Like you kind of have to
interesting.
you have to like it a little bit. So like if going slow makes you like it a little bit, then you just go slow and take your time. And especially with riding, like plan stops along the way. Like if you're like what I love to do when I ride with friends is like, okay, we're gonna go to this spot and then we're gonna go to rain or shine. Like I love ending I love ending a ride with like rain or shine, or sometimes I'll ride out to Port Moody with my friend and we'll go to the breweries and then take the SkyTrain home. So just like having a fun end goal associated with the ride, like it just makes it so much more fun. And even if the ride was super tough and you're like, I low-key hated that, you have ice cream at the end.
That's
so it's
true.
kind of like you're like, okay, this was a positive experience.
No, that's awesome. It's your reward at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of resonate with that. It's like if I'm strength training, I'm like, oh, the protein shake at the end tastes pretty good. I'll think of that. Or I'll stop by Body Energy Club after.
Yeah, a little sweet treat.
Yeah, something sweet. I really like your something you brought up there. Like if you're like long distance sports is not about hating yourself to progress.
Yeah.
It's about like loving the progress. And if you need to slow down, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, like the whole expression, it's a marathon, not a sprint, applies. Like you just got to take your time. It's a process.
That's true. I guess that's where it comes from.
Yeah, literally. And like, I think something that I also didn't appreciate at first with running is that it takes years to like see good progress if you're doing it in a way that's sustainable. At least for someone like me, like I don't think I'm naturally gifted at running. I think that I'm like very short. Like I don't have a long stride or anything like that. So it took me a long time to like get up from a pace of like 7/630 per K up until right now. I think my like comfortable slow pace is like 6 kilometers per K. So like in the past couple years, I shaved off a minute, but that's still like, I have friends that don't run, but then they kind of got into it and they're able to get like faster a lot quicker. So it's, I think like for me, I'm like, okay, first I shouldn't compare myself to others. And then second, like I actually did come a long way since starting running. And I did it by going slowly and making some mistakes along the way.
Yeah. Some physical painful mistakes, but that's part of the fun. That's another great point you bring up is like, we're all built differently. Like our times and our scores will look different. It's really about competing against yourself, which is pretty nice. Like it's a motivator for me for sure to not have to like be an Olympian, I guess.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's really good wisdom. So enjoy the process and don't compare yourself to others. Like challenge yourself. Any other closing thoughts about like exercising or like sports? Is there?
I think just exercise for me is it's like necessary in my life just because like I have a lot of anxiety, and I find that like when I was younger, everyone was like, you should try yoga and meditation. But I almost found like slowing down too much. Like I would get panicked by it, like just my personality type. And maybe like I should find a way to overcome that. But I think running and cycling helped me so much because it was a way for me to focus on my breathing that didn't make me feel like I was like spiraling. Like I still was like almost a little bit distracted by the running. Or the cycling, but I still had to be very, very in tune with my breathing in order to be successful in the run or the ride. So it was really, really beneficial for my mental health.
Oh, that's awesome. A little bit of physical exertion, but really like similar to yoga, you're still in control of your breathing, and your mantras that you repeat to yourself are more or less similar to what's happening in yoga, right? Cool. That's cool. yeah, yoga was never for me either. I just don't like being still.
Yeah, exactly. It's boring to me. I'm like, can we please do something else?
Yeah. It's also like, it kind of hurts to stretch. But I know it's important. So let's jump back to your content creation side or your vlogging side, I guess. Because clearly you're super passionate about it, that you've been doing it for 3.5 years. So maybe for the folks that aren't so familiar with you and your YouTube channel, maybe can you give an introduction of what it is?
Yeah. So basically, my YouTube channel is kind of a combination of 2 series. The first main one is the vlog, where every week I just post exactly what I did in the week. Like, I usually don't do anything to try and make content. I just plan my week as if I'm like living normally, and then I just bring you guys along with me and talk to the camera at times and film my dinners and film my thoughts and my hangouts with friends. It's just very casual, and it's like almost like a video diary of my life. And then recently I started a new series. This is just in the past year. The reason I started it is because I graduated from my master's program and I had a lot more time on my hands. Like, when you just work and you're not in school, it's crazy how much time you have. Like, I was shocked. I was like, what do I do with myself?
True. So all you students listening, don't worry. It'll end.
It ends eventually.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I kind of want to challenge myself to be more creative, because the vlog at that point had just become, like I said earlier, like such an ingrained habit in my life. Like, I didn't feel like I was trying in it, and I put a lot of effort into it, but like creatively I was like, okay, like I have this down pack. Like, I want to challenge myself and try something new. So I started a series called Nobody Asked, where I'm like, okay, I'm doing things that nobody asked for. Like, nobody cares if I talk about this or like I rate these things or do these things, but I care. Like, I wanted to do it. And like, if you like it, that's great. But if you don't, nobody asked me. So.
Nobody loses. Like, nobody demanded this.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the first one I saw of Nobody Asked was like Lana Del Rey album.
Yeah,
it's like, I actually do care about this.
Well,
Let me check it out.
somebody in the comments was like, girl, nobody asked for a reason. I got so much negative comments on that video. So every couple of weeks, I'll get a notification from YouTube, and it's like, someone commented on your video, and I'll be like, yay!
It's like, great.
And I'll go look, and then it's like, this is a trash opinion. I'm like,
oh man,
never mind.
Well, it goes both ways. Nobody asked for their opinion either.
Yeah.
So, no, that's awesome. So it's like that series came from a need to be like more creative than you were already.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's awesome. So like between you mentioned you do a vlog every week or every
week, yeah.
Every week. But you don't plan around making one. So how do you balance like your work life with your exercise life, or I'm not sure what to call it, and your content creation side? Like, how do you balance those 3 things?
Well, first of all, I don't sleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this is not healthy, but I genuinely just don't need that much sleep.
Oh,
like, okay. I find even when if I get 6 hours of sleep per night, I feel like really good and really rested. Like, I think it's just genetically, my mom's the same way, where she doesn't sleep that much, and both of us just function very well without sleep.
Nice.
So I wake up at around 5 every day to get in like either a run, or sometimes in the winter I'll go on the stationary bike, and then I do a weightlifting session with a friend, and then go to work, obviously, after that. And then in the evening, I'll sometimes do a little bit of editing during the weekdays, but most of the time I'm a little bit like tired, so I'll just like leave it. I'll do a big first batch of editing somewhere around Thursday or Friday, just like at the end of the workday. And then I do a huge session on Sunday night.
Oh, okay. So there is like set editing times.
It's only set because I have like a release date on Sunday night.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So I'll do it then, but then the weekdays it's more intuitive. Like if I sit down and I'm like, okay, I feel like editing today, I'll do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like we were talking a bit before the show. Saffron was asking me like, what's my editing like? And for myself, it's very sporadic. It's like sometimes on the train, sometimes I'm like, oh, I have 5 minutes before I have to head out for dinner, so I'll do it then. But having a set like time, or really a deadline, probably helps a lot. Cool, that's awesome. Has that been the same like over the 3 years, or has
Yeah, it's mostly been the
Really?
same. Like I literally only stray from the Sunday release date when it's my birthday, and
Mhm.
I like to release the vlog like on the birthday. So
Oh,
then
nice.
so that I can capture like all the celebrations, and then that's kind of like I usually do the season finale on there, and I start the next year with a new intro. So
Mhm.
and I do like the end of year montage on that day. So
Oh,
that's the only time where it's not released on a Sunday because like whatever week my birthday
it's a
falls on.
special event.
Exactly. It's the season finale. But
Oh.
otherwise I am like a super, super regimented routine person. Like even if I was feeling lazy and didn't want to edit and release it on Sunday, I think I would just be lying in bed, like shaking, being like, okay, no, I can't do this. I gotta edit. I gotta release it. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so it's like the routine is your biggest motivator. Like,
yeah,
you,
I'm a very
right.
big creature of habit.
That's awesome. And I also liked how you mentioned like your seasons are in line with your birthday. I think that's very like wholesome and
Yeah,
or cute. I'm not sure
I'm
what
a
to
big
put.
birthday girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. Cool. And there's a new intro every time you have a birthday. Wow,
Yeah,
there's like some cool creative decisions
I
going on.
enlist all my friends to be a part of the intro when
Yeah.
they come to my birthday party. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
you're allowed to come, but you gotta like be in the video.
oh, that's your ticket
Yeah,
in. Yeah. It's like
yeah,
at the door, the bouncer tells you, okay, can you quickly record it?
yeah. But
record a
it's
video?
usually really fun, and people are so cute. They're like, oh my god! Like sometimes for people who are in the video for the first time, they're like, oh my god, I get to be part of the
Oh,
intro.
nice.
Yeah.
That is so good. I love how it's like, it's not just you, it's you and all your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You're celebrating like your life, obviously, but also all the people that make your life special.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like the whole montage is basically about like my friends and family. Like
Hmm.
they're the ones in my life that make it special and that make it like they're the ones that make me happy essentially, like
Hmm.
above all my friends and family. So like if the vlog is for like anyone, it's for them.
Hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very wholesome. I love that. um, I don't know how to transition from that. That was a very, very, very nice thing for you to say. Oh, if you have one, do you have like an end goal to your content creation? Like, um, maybe when you're 90 years old, like, are we still vlogging on
I think
YouTube?
about that often actually. Like
Yeah.
I've always like told myself whenever it doesn't bring you joy anymore, you stop because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do it just for the sake of doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've always told myself that. And for the last 3.5 years, I've really enjoyed it. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't really have an end goal. Like it's just something that
Hmm.
I have really enjoyed doing. And I know that as long as it brings me joy and it doesn't like hinder anything in my life, I want to continue doing it. But I don't have any like big end goals with it because I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or if it was like a conversation that we were talking about, but um I don't really have any plans to like monetize the
Mm-hmm.
vlog or to like promote the channel like aggressively. Like I think so far any growth that has happened in the channel has happened very organically. Like um I I had actually two TAs who
Oh,
they found my vlog and they were like, "Oh my god, you have a vlog." And then I ended up becoming friends with both of them
that's awesome.
through like cuz they found like the channel and they really liked it, but um I don't know, like I don't tell people about it when I meet them. Like it's not a part of like anything that I say
Mm-hmm.
when people are getting to know me. They just kind of find out at the last minute. They're like, "Wait, you have a vlog?" Or I'll be with my friends and they'll be like, "Saffron has a vlog." And I'm like,
Oh.
"No." And I think a part of it is that I'm always so shy about it cuz like it honestly is like a vulnerable creative
Mm-hmm.
endeavor. Like
Mm-hmm.
these are really special videos to me and I think when you put yourself out uh to be judged, like it can be scary at times, but I'm trying to like work to overcome it. Like I'm just trying to realize like okay, just because you promote the vlog or you talk about it doesn't mean that like this is your career. Like this is just a hobby. Like this is something that you do for fun that brings you and your friends joy.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, it well, for one, it is a very vulnerable part of your
Yeah.
life. It's you're inviting people to like live with you for
Mhm.
like 30 minutes a week, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that when people find it organically, it's like, oh hey, I get to peek into what Saffron's like on the other side. But yeah, for monetization, like I feel like people get hung up on that because in our capitalist culture, like everything's got to be for money. Like
Yeah.
whatever you do, your hobbies eventually have to make you money. But for vlogging, which is a relatively new art form, new creative art form, just doing it for fun is like the same as, I don't know, knitting scarves for your family members.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it, I'm like, I have a job. I have something that I go to from like 8 to 4 or longer every day. And that's my income. Like, that's the thing that gets me money. And I love it. But it's like, I don't want to see the vlog as my job, because sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, I gotta go to my fucking job.
Yeah,
you're just
true,
like,
true.
no. Like, I just don't want to feel like that about the vlog. I want
Fair
it to be something that's always more of a positive and an outlet for me to escape like more responsibilities that I have in life.
Yeah. It's your creative endeavor. It's like
Yeah.
your artistic thing, right?
Exactly.
It's like, like traditionally painting or whatever would be some other things that are kind of in line. Would you ever do a job that's like content creation though? Like not necessarily a vlog, but like video editing. If you suddenly got really good at it, would you pivot to that or?
I don't know. Like, I can't imagine it honestly at this point, just because I really do enjoy the technical aspect of my job. I really, really like learning new things at my job every day. Like, I'm a pretty big data girl. Like, I really like it. I really like my job. So I in the foreseeable future, I can't imagine it. But
Fair enough.
But I think like I could see myself trying to take on another side hustle stupidly, even though I don't have time. But
hey, just sleep one less hour.
Oh, perfect. I didn't even need the hour in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing about your hobby and letting maybe this new audience into the other side of your life week by week. So personally, I really enjoy watching the vlog. I feel like it's a great way to keep up with where you're at. Like we used to work together and then like split off into different jobs, but I always felt like I never lost that connection with you because of your vlog and all of social media. So it's really nice. So as we close out, I want to ask you like 2 pieces of fun questions.
Yay.
What is your one piece of wisdom to leave with the world?
This is one that I'm currently working through. So this is wisdom that I have not taken, but I'm trying to
Trying to take.
Yeah. I'm trying to embrace being like myself, I guess, in the sense where like I always think that I leave social situations thinking that, oh my gosh, I was so embarrassing. Like, I'm going to leave this podcast and I'm literally going to be like, you were so stupid. But I'm trying to work towards like, no, like you were you like whatever you did there, that was me. And like, if people don't like it, like that's not my problem. So just trying to embrace like just being myself, and then as well allowing myself to disappoint others, I guess. Like you're not going to please everybody. People will be disappointed no matter your intentions and no matter how hard you try to please everybody. So I think it's just about like standing your ground in who you are and what you value, and like not, I don't know, like not letting other people's opinions like make you feel bad when you're like grounded in your values.
Totally. I'm hearing like be yourself, obviously. And like what other people think you're not in control of.
Yeah.
So don't worry, don't let them live in your head rent free.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. No, that's awesome. It's very, very nice. This podcast has been great, so don't worry.
Aw,
You are a
thanks.
dream guest for a while, so I'm really happy that you came on.
Thank you.
So another fun question I'll ask is, what is your dream piece of content to make? Or I guess, what is your dream vlog to make? Like, would it be going somewhere? Would it be like you documenting a certain challenge that you had?
Honestly, my favorite vlogs to make are like any trips I take with my friends. So I would love to travel for a longer period of time with a group of friends.
Oh, okay. Like a 3-week journey or like half a year in some other part of the world?
Oh, half a year would be so much fun, but
Yeah.
I would be horribly homesick. So
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
think that would be too scary for me. I think like 3 weeks is probably a more realistic goal to set.
Cool. Any specific location?
No, not really. I would have to like feel it out with like whoever I would go with.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Cool. Wow, that's very nice. Would it be like one really long vlog or
No,
like
it would probably still be segmented.
like an episode? I was thinking like a reality TV show.
Well, that's kind of what the vlog ends up being when I travel
Oh.
with people because I get to film people's opinions and like stuff like that. It's really cute.
Oh, sweet. That is fun. Yeah. Set them up in like a room with like I don't even know what you call it. You know when like something controversial happens and then they cut
Oh,
away.
the confessional?
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
I had a
That'd be fun.
confessional at my birthday party.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Recorded or?
No, like I literally set up a camera like on the inside of Turner's house. Turner is my boyfriend. We had my birthday party at his house.
Mhm.
And we had the birthday party outside, so all the festivities were out there.
Mhm.
And then inside his house, we set up a camera with lights and like we set up a little background. And people had a mic and they could go sit down and talk to the camera and
Wow.
do confessionals.
On you or on anything?
Anything. I was like,
Oh.
you guys can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, that's cool. Whoa. Did you go through all of that?
Oh, I had to go through all the footage.
That's amazing, actually. That's a really fun
It was
party
so
idea.
cute. It was so
Yeah.
funny. People were so funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So maybe one day we'll get the confessional cut. Definitely not. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Is there anything else you want to leave with the podcast, with the world?
Not really. Thank you so much for inviting me. I was so excited to come.
Oh, awesome. Well, I think we gotta like I'm trying to figure out how to do like more podcasts with guests that have come on before, but talking about something else. But you're always welcome on again to the podcast. Yeah, for everyone listening at home, thank you so much for joining us today on this very cool and enlightening episode with Saffrin. Leave a comment about what you thought. And while you leave a comment down here, make sure to go over to Saffrin's channel and check out her latest vlog. Or Nobody Asked. What is the latest Nobody Asked, actually?
I actually released a video yesterday called Embracing Cringe.
Oh,
yeah, that's my words of wisdom are basically like me trying to summarize what I said in that video. I just ranted about like kind of just feeling like I need to get over this.
Yeah.
I need to start like being more confident.
Embracing cringe. That is like a new phenomenon. These Gen Z kids, you know, they're like, but you know what? We're just gonna embrace it. So who's cringe now? But please leave me any feedback. Leave Saffrin a nice comment on her Embracing Cringe video. And
or
then,
the Lana video.
Or the Lana, yeah, or the Lana Del Rey video. That was my favorite one because I also have strong opinions. Once again, thank you to Launch Academy for hosting our podcast. Launch is a tech accelerator here in Western Canada. If you are a tech startup founder, we would love to work with you. So visit launchacademy.ca. Don't forget to join our Discord. The link is in the description below. And you will have a new episode very, very soon after this one. So stay tuned to all our socials at Grow Up Level Up to find out where we are. And Saffrin, what's your handle again? We'll just plug it one more time.
Saffrin Granby on YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
I'm gonna go for a high five. Yeah.